thank you all very much and appreciate your being here. It's great to be with our governor-to-be, Mr. FitzGerald. And we wanted to just draw attention today to an issue that, as we both have witnessed for the last year, if you get around the state, big city, small town, you just can't miss it. The heroin crisis exploded over the last couple of years in Ohio. It really started about 3 years ago. It's only gotten worse. In any way you measure it, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And as you all know, and we know, it's just overwhelming communities from small town Ohio to big city Ohio. And the numbers are just tragic when you look at especially the overdose deaths that have happened. My conclusion about 6 months ago was that it was a crisis and that we didn't have nearly enough treatment. And if you look out at, if you look at almost any county in the state, there's not nearly enough treatment. I would also submit there's not nearly enough tough enforcement. Today we're here to talk about treatment. And the waiting lines are too long. In smaller counties, people are having to drive very far to get any kind of treatment. And so my proposal, and I know Ed shares the same theme, is we need a lot more treatment in Ohio. We need it available in all 88 counties as soon as possible. That's what other states are doing. That's what's happening in Massachusetts, where the governor there declared a state of emergency. The Attorney General of Kentucky settled a lawsuit and put all $32 million he received into treatment. And Ohio needs to do the same thing. So if you look around the country, Ohio's response to this crisis, although we are suffering from it as bad as any state, is actually one of the weakest and least serious responses in the entire country. Which is frankly why it was so startling to see this story that the Associated Press uncovered, I think about a week ago, where as opposed to the direction of adding more treatment that is so desperately needed, and despite, again, a lot of town hall meetings and rhetoric about how our state leaders think this is a crisis, the state has actually come up with a way to dramatically reduce treatment. And all 88 counties, agencies across the state, will about a month from now suffer from about a 30% cut in their ability to provide the treatment they're currently providing. These agencies will have no choice, I believe, if they sustain this cut, but to simply cut people off treatment. These are agencies that are working already on thin budgets, and so we now know that if this isn't changed in about a month from today, agencies across the state and counties that already have too little treatment will actually have to cut people off treatment. Some hopefully have a large enough budget that they'll be able to keep people on but won't be able to accept anyone new. Others, it may be so bad that they actually may have to cut people off that are currently suffering from an addiction. So I think our message today is clear. We're in the middle of a crisis. The state has to be able to find solutions to budget problems without putting it on the backs of those providing treatment and those receiving treatment. And I'll just simply say we call upon the state, and we hope that legislative leaders and state leaders, whether it's the Attorney General or the Governor, will have some common sense and say that we cannot afford 1 month from now to have a 30% cut to treatment that's taking place across the state through this federal block grant program. It's just simply the wrong course. It's the wrong direction. We should be going in a different direction. And I don't want to over-dramatize it, but I honestly believe we will see more people addicted in the end, more lives ruined because of this decision if it's not averted. So it's a startling piece of news that this was coming forward, and we hope that the leaders in Ohio and Columbus can change that direction.